Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Nama Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yamadharmaraja happily acceded to the second boon that Nachiketa asked for. Please teach me that Agni Vidya, which is the means for a jiva, a human jiva really, to enter Svargaloka after the fall of the body. And he repeated, he gave the whole thing. Ya ishtaka yavatirva yathava. In great detail, he gave him everything. Because without the detail, you cannot do this. And Nachiketa was such a good student that he was able to completely retell the whole thing back to Yama. Every teacher is looking for students who absorb easily. No good teacher will ever differentiate between a student who is slow on the uptake and someone who is really quick. But clearly, every teacher looks for somebody who absorbs the teaching very quickly, whose questions are intelligent, whose doubts are very relevant. While he is like a parent, they are equally, or all children are equally dear to them. But clearly, there's always some favorite. Every teacher is saying, I'm putting so much effort to teach. I want to see a response, which is one of the reasons why I always keep saying our online classes are second best. Because in a face-to-face class, the teacher's looking at every student, the student is looking at the teacher. So you can make out how much the student is absorbing and where the teacher needs to re-emphasize some point, retell it in a different way, so that everybody gains something from the teaching. Not just the one who can quickly absorb, but every student in the class has a takeaway. Takeaway is a very modern term for training. What is your takeaway at the end of the training? But this is what every teacher, particularly in a Gurukulam setup, is looking for. The Gurukulam system had some very wonderful methods to do this. including getting the senior students to teach the junior students. Like in the universities, we have now tutor system and buddy system to help those who are not so quick on the uptake. Here, Yamadharmaraja, the only Shishya he has to whom is offered 3 boons is Nachiketa. Nachiketa himself says, I'm definitely not the worst of any group of students. I may be amongst the top, I may be sometimes in the middle, but I'm never the bottom. And he proves this now. In many ways, he proves it during this conversation. But here in this conversation, he proves it by retelling what Yamadharmaraja said, the very complex process of this Nachiketa Agni. It's still not called Nachiketa Agni, it's called only Svarga Agni. So Yamadharmaraja is so pleased. I sent you in the group a picture of a Agni Kunda that was excavated in a place called Purulia. It shows such a complex, just the Kunda itself, Ishtaka. So he told him all that, he absorbed all that. He said what all has to be done, how many bricks, how it should be arranged, what should be done, what should not be done. Everything he was able to recollect without mistake, without error, without omission of anything. Dharmaraja, as a teacher, extremely pleased. What can a pleased teacher give to the student? Particularly a teacher of Vedanta. A teacher of Vedanta typically is a sannyasi. So he's not he doesn't have wealth to distribute. But he has a lot to give in terms of advice, in terms of guidance, not only in the issue of what is being taught, but overall in life, in how to manage life so that the ultimate goal of moksha can be approached. In this context, here, Yamadharmaraja is in a position to offer boons to Nachiketa, to his student. So it is Priyamanaha Mahatma Tam Vid. That Mahatma, the teacher with the pleased heart, Priyamanaha Mahatma. Tam Abravid. Kim Abravid, to whom? Tam Abravid. Nachiketa Sam. To Nachiketa. What does he say? Iha adya tava bhuyaha varam dadami. Iha adya. Adya is today, now. Iha, right here and now. Bhuyaha varam dadami. I'm so happy, I'm so elated that I will give you one additional boon. In addition to the 3 that I promised you, which you obviously have formulated in your mind, I'll give you one more spontaneously. Iha adya tava bhuyaha varam dadami. I give you the varam here and now, over and above what I had promised you. I am Agnihi Tavayeva Namna Bhavita. So far, this is called Swargya Agni. From here on, Bhavita, this will be called by your name. You know, many sports trophies are instituted in the name of people who have been legends in their own sport. And that becomes permanent. The name remains forever. Because that in tournament we played perhaps every year. So you have this in our normal life also. In many fields we have where something is named after the person who has been instrumental in making that happen. Sometimes you don't give the credit, but many times you do attach the name of the discoverer, of the person who really worked on it. Whether it is Newton's laws, Newton becomes forever. Like that, many fields we have. So here also he says, this particular Agni ritual, which is the gateway to go to Svargaloka, that will be known by your name. Ayam Agnihi Tavaeva Namna Bhavita. It will be in your name. Then there's one more sentence, literally means Imam Aneka Rupam Shrinkam Cha Grihana. I also give you one more, a mala. Shrinkha is mala. Obviously, if Dharmaraja is giving a mala, it's not going to be some shells. It's going to be something not available in our Martyaloka. It is a from another Devaloka. So it could be a different kind of mala. Nothing's seen on the earth. Immediately the thought comes to the mind, why would Yamadharmaraja give a mala to Nachiketa, even if it is divine mala, if it is something which is very different from whatever we knew? We know that he's already asked for a boon to go back to his father. So he's going to go back to earth and carrying this Shrinka, which has been given to him by Dharmaraja. What do you do with it? Give it to his wife or girlfriend whenever she is there. So the question arises, why would Yamadharmaraja give a mala of some kind of precious beans or stones or whatever they are? Whatever is available in his loka. I don't know. If you get that kind of mala, maybe by the time we come to Martya Loka, it will disappear. It will have no value, I don't know. So this question arises, why is he giving a mala? In the Bashyam, Shankaracharya addresses this also very nicely. We will read the Bashyam. Tam Nachiketasam Abravit.
Tam Nachiketasam Abravit.
Tam to him means to Nachiketasa. Abravit, he said. What did he say? Why did he say that? He is Priyamanaha. He is being pleased. Being happy with Nachiketa. Shishya Yogyatam Pashyan. Priyamanaha Shishya Yogyatam Pashyan.
Shishyayogyataam Pasyanna.
Seeing in Nachiketa a Yogya Shishya, one who is Siksha Yogya, one who is really worth being taught because he knows he will absorb. It will be easy to teach Nachiketa because he will easily absorb any kind of knowledge, the JC knowledge. Shishya Yogyatam Pashyan, he is a worthy student. And to that student, having seen his response, Priyamanaha, being extremely pleased with that. Priyamana, Shankaracharya also explains further. Pritim Anubhavan.
Pritim Anubhavan.
experiencing the joy of teaching a student who is a worthy student. Joy for any teacher. So, Pritim Anubhavan, experiencing that joy. Yamadharmaraja. Yamadharmaraja here is called Mahatma. Now, technically speaking, everybody can be called a Mahatma because everybody is a Mahatma. What is Mahatma? Satchidananda Atma. But in this world, we give this title Mahatma to only a few people. Satchidananda Atma, everybody is Satchidananda. The problem is, I don't know. Problem is, I don't know that I'm Satchidananda Atma. Everybody is in the same difficulty of not knowing that. But really speaking, there is only one Satchidananda Atma. There is nothing else. So what is this Mahatma is referring to? It is something different from the way you understand Mahatma as Satchidananda. I mean, we call Gandhiji Mahatma. I don't know who gave him the title, but we call him Mahatma. Obviously, there's a different meaning. Here, Mahatma, Shankaracharya explains. Mahatma,
Mahatma,
Kshudra Buddhi.
Rudra Buddhi,
Kshudra Buddhi. Kshudra is small, lowly, limited. But he defines his Mahatma, Yamadharmaraja, as Vishala Buddhi. One who is open-hearted. One who is, many times in these texts, Buddhi and heart are interchangeably used. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Shlokam, the Vishala Buddhi word comes. Who does he refer to as Vishala Buddhi in there? Vyasacharya. Vishala Buddhi. There, one whose vision is unlimited. Here, one whose heart is open, giving, as evidenced by the fact that being pleased, he gives something more than he committed. He offers something much more than he committed. So that is the Akshudra Buddhi. Buddhi which is not cramped, constrained, lowly. I will not give you more than what I promised you. I've already promised you a lot. The other day somebody was arguing that when we buy from local vendors, we tend to, a lot of people do this, haggle with them. One small vendor of vegetables, for example, he quotes a certain price and the person buying it wants to beat him down. And then he was arguing that's not the way to do it. You go to a supermarket to buy the same vegetable, you don't question. You buy whatever is listed there on the rack and you pay that and come out. Why do you haggle with this guy? He makes 2 rupees extra. I remember when we were doing this project on tree plantation in Bangalore, one of the people who was working with us on this whole project said we should plant a lot of fruiting trees, papita especially. And somebody else objected that if you put it in public places or even accessible places which are not public, like for example within the PHC compound, everybody will try and come and take it away. children will throw stones and take it away. And he said something which is stuck in my head even today. He said, let children take it, no? If they eat more papaya, children, their eyesight will be good. Why do you want to restrict it only to you? You plant trees, let everybody gain. The tree itself doesn't say, I will give you, I will not give you. Learn from the trees. And something he said which is so appropriate. So here, akshudra buddhihi, the ability to give. If you have something to give to people who need it, we tend to give only what is not useful to me. To some extent, what we call it Shudra. There are others I know who will say, I have 4 sets of clothes. Sometimes I feel like buying a new one. I buy a new one, although all my other ones are in very good condition. But I do it only after I've given away one to somebody else. So I keep only 4. That's a very interesting way of looking at not being Kshudra Buddhi. Yamadharma Raja being not Kshudra Buddhi, Akshudra Buddhi, he freely offers to Nachiketa, with whom he is pleased, another boon. Akshudra Buddhi. Varam tava chaturtham.
Varam tava chaturtham.
Iha priti nimittam.
Iha
Iha
priti
nimittam.
Adhya idanim.
Adya idanim.
Dadami.
Dadami.
Bhuyaha punaha.
Bhuyaha punaha.
Prayachami.
Prayachami.
So, tava varam chaturtham. Chaturtham varam dadami. I give you a 4th boon. What? Priti nimittam, on my own. You didn't ask for it, it's not part of our contract, I'll give you 3 boons. Priti nimittam, being pleased. On my own, I give you a 4th boon. When? Adya. Idanim. Not sometime later. And Adya idanim dadami bhuyaha. I already offered you 3, 1 more. Bhuyaha again. And iha. Here, right now, you're sitting with me, I'm giving you this boon just now. Boon of my own free will, which is happy. What is that 4th boon? Yes. Tavaiva.
Tavaiva.
Nachiketasaha.
Nachiketasaha.
Namna.
Namna.
Abhidhanena.
Abhidhanena.
Prasiddhaha bhavati.
Prasiddhaha bhavati.
Maya uchyamana ayam agnihi.
Maya
uchyamana agnihi.
This Agni ritual, Maya uchyamana, which is being told to you by me. Maya uchyamana. That Tavaiva namna. Nachiketasa namna. By your name. By the name Nachiketasa. Abhidhanena. Become prasiddha. Will be known by your name. Abhidhanena. Prasiddha bhavita. Will become famous. So here is where the transition takes place from being a Svargagni to Nachiketasa Agni. Aya Uchyamana Ayam Agnihi. Not only that, he said no, earlier, Shrinkam Cha Imam Aneka Rupam Grahana, he said. So he said not only that. Kincha
Kincha
Shrinkam
Srinkam
Shabdavatim Ratnamayim Malam
Shabdavatim Ratnamayim Malam
Imam Aneka Rupam
Imam Aneka Rupam
Vichitram
Vichitram
Grihana Swikuru.
Grihana Svikuru.
Kincha, additionally, this Imam Shrinkam, this mala, what kind of mala? Shabdavatim Ratnamayim Malam. Where his loka, not perhaps in Martya loka. Very precious stones. We don't know what kind of stones. Available in everything available there need not be available on the earth, including music. Gandharva music is available. Music, Gandharva music, not. So, Shrinkam Shabdavatim Ratnamayim Malam. One which goes tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. Imam Malam. What kind of mala? Aneka Rupam. Varieties of Vichitram. Varieties of whatever precious material it is made of. Stones or platinum or metal or some other metal which is not available on the earth. Imam Aneka Rupam Vichitram Yenachiketa Grihana. Accept. Please accept. Swikuru. Now, this is where I told you there's a doubt. He's already offered the fourth boon, which is in the form of giving the Nachiketa Agni, the name Nachiketa to that Agni ritual. What is the additional thing he's giving? What value does it have? Why is he giving this? This is a literal translation. Shankaracharya first makes a literal translation. Says, this Shrinkam, Shabdavatim, Ratnamayim, Malam, Imam, Aneka Rupam, Vichitram, Grihana, Svikuru. This is the literal understanding of the Vatshartha. And Shankaracharya is not particularly happy with that. Because the same doubts must be coming to everybody's mind. What is he giving this mala? What is this mala? Why is he giving? Is it a magical mala or something? Like, many of these devatas gave Arjuna a lot of astra. But those were powerful astra which can be used in a war on the earth, which he did use. As did Ravana. They did use that. Those are, what is it something like that? We don't know. Shankaracharya questions that and says that may not be the correct way to look at it. So he says, Yadva Shrinkam
Srinkam
Akutsitam Gatim
Akutsitam Gatim
Karmamayim Grihana
Karmamayim Grihana
Anyatapi
Anyatapi
Karma Vijnanam Aneka Phala Hetutvat
Karma Vijnanam Hetutvat
Sri Kurva Ityartha.
Kurva Ityartha.
Is actually referring to the same ritual, Agni ritual. He's describing it as a mala, a shrinka, which is akutsitam, flawless. No kutsita in this. This is something which will work. If done correctly, done with Shraddha, it will work. Provided the Yajamana is well prepared, has the Adhikaritvam, the Agni ritual itself is flawless. It will produce the result that I'm committing to you. Therefore, this Shrinka, the whole chain of karma, this is not a one-off, as I told you last time. This Nachiketa Agni is not a one-off ritual. It is a pretty much continuous ritual. Has a series of actions to be taken, series of karma to be done. Like any ritual, that karma has to be done in a whole pattern. There's a sequence to it. So you say that akutsitam gati. Shrinka has another dhatu mean, dhatvartha. Many dhatus in Sanskrit have a gatyartha. And gatyartha can mean a lot of things. Gati. So Shrinkam gatim karmamayim grahana. This whole package I'm giving you called Swargya Agni, which will now be called Nachiketa Agni, which you have learned and you have reproduced it faultlessly. That faultless process ritual, which anybody can use provided his Nadhikari is ready and does it exactly as it should be done. It will work. So it is akutsita, error-free. Like sometimes when you write software, it doesn't quite do what it's supposed to do. You have to go back and find out where the error is. And we have some software specialists here in our group here who know this. And then it doesn't work the way you wanted it to work. You have to go back all the way to the beginning and restart, find out where the error is and correct it. This one is tried and tested, will not fail. Not only that, aneka phala hetutvat. We will see this Agni karma can be done at more than one level. The Agni karma, if one does it with sincerity, with Shraddha, it is sure to get you to Sargaloka. But you know that Shastra says that Sargaloka is not the final destination. Final destination is elsewhere. Sargaloka is like a intermediate diversion, pleasure diversion. End is elsewhere. So within samsara, even there it is not the ultimate end. Within samsara, we know we have several lokas. Bhuhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Mahaha, and Satyam ultimately. The Tatyaloka is called Brahmaloka. So even within samsara, there is several steps ahead of Swargaloka. And that Brahmaloka is potentially a step to rid of samsara. Within samsara forms, what do you call it in science fiction, portal. It is a portal for getting to moksha. None of the others is. No other loka can you get to moksha. Brahmaloka, there is a possibility that one can enter that portal and gain moksha, which is nothing to gain, which is know that you are Mukta Purusha. So this is not the end. Because we've seen also in Ishavasya Upanishad, you can do karma and gain some loka. But if you do karma upasana samuchaya. Upasana is dhyanam. Wherever your dhyanam is, you can go there. So karma, upasana samuchaya will take you. Therefore, this Agni, Nachiketa Agni, can take definitely, he said, to Svargaloka, but can also take you to Brahmaloka. If all other conditions are fulfilled, and one also uses upasana. This is part of the all China Kanda. All the rituals are there in that Brahmana. Punarapi karma stuti mevaha.
Punarapi karmastuti
Again, in the next verse, karma stuti stutim eva aha. For the stuti of the karma. Yamadharmaraja says, Trinachiketas tribiretva sandhim.
Trinachiketas sandhim
Karma krit tarati janma mrityu. Brahmajajñam devamidyam viditva. Chayyamevagum shantimatyantameti. Interesting, this particular verse. Because this can be done along with upasana. And therefore you can get even further results. This has, if you see in the first line, 3 times the 3 it occurs. Trinachiketa, Tribihi, Trikarmakrit. What are these 3? Tribihi saha sandhim. What is that 3? Sambandha. Then Trikarmakrit. And Tribihi etya. So in fact, this thing is also called Trinachiketa. Trikritvaha nachiketaha agnihi chittaha yena saha imam yamabuddhi pratyaksham brahmanaha jataha athava jayate iti brahma. We'll look at it later. A person who is prepared, who can do this Nachiketa Agni, and anybody can do. Anybody mean any Manushya can do. Can gain Svargaloka, and if can also do it along with Upasana, one can gain Brahmaloka, and from that Brahmaloka, one can gain Moksha. A very complicated process. You first learn Nachiketa Agni, the way Nachiketa learnt it, without fault, without omission. You practice, you do that exactly the way it is to be done. You also do Upasana, hope to gain Brahmaloka. And from Brahmaloka, you get, how do you reach Moksham? Only Jnanam. Moksha is only Jnanam. Why go through all the route, all the complex thing to go through that and then gain Moksha when you have it available right here and now? This moksha is available to every human being. We only don't recognize it. So instead of touching the nose like this, we try to do like this. Because that looks easier to begin with. But really, it's not. Very elaborate, painstaking process. That's what happens. So he says it is possible for you to do that. Trinachikesa Triviretya Sandhim, one who invokes the Nichiketa fire thrice. That's a literal meaning. We've already seen Shankaracharya touch upon this question of literal meaning and meaning that you should be looking at alternatively. And who has three types of association. This is all preparation. You must be an adhikari to do this. And who performed the three fundamental rites. Acharya will talk more details about this. Trinachiketa, Tribiretya Sandhim, Trikarmakrit. What happened? Tarati Janma Mrityu. Well prepared, well executed, well understood, well executed, Nachiketa Agnihi, along with Upasana, is a person Tarati Janma Mrityu. He crosses repeated birth and death. That is moksha. But moksha also at two levels, because Svargaloka is also moksha, but only temporary. Brahmaloka is also moksha, temporary, but with the possibility of gaining absolute freedom. So here you do Nachiketa Agnihi with all the preparation, everything done. One goes to Svargaloka, then what? It's only temporary. No, then I will go to Brahmaloka because I will also do Upasana. Okay, then what? There also you have to know there is nothing else. Moksha is only jnanam, knowledge. Understanding, clarity that I am Mukta Purusha. All this is good. But what is really required is clarity of understanding. So, Atyanta Shantim Eti. Atyanta Shantim Eti. The burden, one who not only does the Nichiketa Agni Karma, but Nichayya, doing meditation upon Ishvara, can gain this Atyanta Shanti. Because if you know this is actually Virat Upasana. Virat is the samashti of all sthula components in the samsara, including my body. All that is Virat, part of Virat. But our problem is, I am not able to include this mistaken self into the Virat. It is Virat. I'm still thinking of I as this Sharira. Therefore, I have a problem. Arjuna had the same problem. Arjuna saw the wonders of the Virat Rupa. And he described all of that. Because he was given special eyes to see. Otherwise, how can you see something which doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end? You can't. But although he saw the sight, which is amazing because it's not something which is available to everybody. But that didn't give him clarity about Virat. Because at the end of that, he said, this is Bhayankara Rupa. I see everybody getting chewed. I've seen enough. I don't want to see this anymore. Please show me your Saumya Rupa. Arjuna says, no, in the 11th chapter. Because he didn't include himself in there. He was still looking at it saying, I, Arjuna, I'm seeing this. Therefore, he had the problem. As long as that Atma and Atma are seen as two separate things, we have an issue. So here he says, Brahmajajnam Devamidhyam Viditva, having understood that this is the Virat form, this whole worship is to the Ishvara in the Virat form. And having meditated upon that, Atyanta Shantim Eti gains total Shanti. What are the three type of trees that he is talking about? Trinachiketah,
Trinachiketah,
Trihi Kritvah,
Trihi Kritvah,
Nachiketagni,
Nachiketagni,
Chitah,
Chitah,
Yena Saha,
Yena Saha,
Trinachiketah,
Trinachiketah,
Tat Adyenah,
Tat Adhyena,
Anushtana Banba,
Anushtana Banva,
Tat Anushtana Banba. Tat, knowing that. See, Trinachiketa is not not question of just doing 3 times the rituals. Trinachiketa is this Agnichitaha, knowing that, Tad Vijnana, as Nachiketa understood, he knew, Tad Vijnana, Tad Adhyayana, study of that regularly, every day, and Tad Anushthanava, Anusthana, practicing that, actually performing the Nachiketa Agni regularly, as prescribed. So all 3 steps are given. So these are 3 steps he says, Trinachiketaha. The 3 steps involved in the Nachiketa Agni. Tad Anusthana. Another 3 Sandhihi is also say 3 Sandhihi. So you do this Nachiketa Agni, but you have to have the blessings. Ishvara Anugraha, Guru Anugraha, Matra Anugraha, Pitra Anugraha. Without that, you're not going to nothing is going to happen. It says 3 Sandhihi. Tribihi Sandhihi. Tribihi.
Tribihi,
Matripitracharyah.
Matrapitracharyah,
Yaihi. Not Charyah. Matripitracharyaihi.
Matrapitrachayaihi,
Itya.
Itya,
Prapya.
Prapya,
Sandhim.
Sandhim,
Sandhanam.
संधानम संबंधम
मात्र अनुशासनम यथावत् प्राप्येति इत्यत्
मात्र अनुशासनम यथावत्
एतत्.
एतत्.
When we start learning anything, our Ma is the first teacher. Therefore, when you Shastra also says Matrudevo Bhava first, before even saying Pitrudeva or Acharya Devo Bhava. First learning comes from Mata. So, Tribihi Matru Pitta Acharya Etya Prapya. In fact, literally it means one who has a Mata. Everybody has a Mata. You can't be there without a Mata. We don't have immaculate conception. If you have a Mata and a Pita and an Acharya and their blessings, only then can something happen. Acharyavan Purusha eva. Without Acharya, there is no possibility. Without the Mata and Pita Anugraha, nothing is possible. So it says the three Sambandha, Matra Pitracharyahi Etya Prapya Sandhim Sandhanam Sambandham Matra Anushasanam Yathavat Prapya iti etat. So, the discipline, the correct method that the mother teaches, and therefore her blessings, her anugraha, become very crucial in anything, leave alone this Agni ritual. In everything that is necessary. So the three sambandha, tribihi sandhim, is Mata, Pita, Guru. One way of looking at this. And in fact, this is there, we'll see tomorrow, in Brihadaranyaka. Yajnavalkya, when he teaches why this is so important. We will take that up tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavati.
Purnamevavasishyate.
Om
Om
Shanti
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 Shanti.
Shanti.
Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari
Hari
Om.
Om.